Hello, internet friends. It has been 10,000 fucking years. No, not the Rita version, the Vengeance Demon Hunter version. We were the last spec to get our talent trees, and I'm so excited to give you guys my first impressions about the talent tree. Now, I do need you guys to know that because I am a Mythic Plus carry streamer, I highly value DPS over defensives. Simply because I need to make up usually for the damage of a fifth party member that's usually not up to par in terms of damage for the keys that we're doing. With that being said, I make a ton of guides for this channel, specifically in relation to Mythic Plus. I'm hoping to extend that to a rating a little bit soon, coming up in Dragonflight. So if you find these guides useful, or this first impression or my Vengeance Demon Hunter guides useful, please consider subscribing. We've gotten so much love and support recently, and I thank you guys all so much for that support. Let's jump in.
I fucking hate you.
What the fuck are these talents? Wait, what the fuck? Okay. Calcified spikes requires this is like the third row. You take 10% reduced damage after demon spikes ends, fading by 1% per second. Kind of cool. That's kind of cool. While Demon Spikes is active, melee attacks against you cause this is the same one we used to have. So they changed frailty. Enemies struck by Sigil of Flame are afflicted with frailty for 5 seconds. You heal for 8% of all damage you deal to targets with. Oh, they're making Sigil of Flame like actually useful, to be honest. So like right now we have like our Throat Glaive is basically on global, right? Like, yeah. So now you have to spec into it to get it to do that. Foul Devastation heals you for up to 30% more based on missing health. Kind of a useless talent. But over here on the right, where that Calcified Spikes is, there's the Fell Flame Fortification, which you take reduced magic damage while Immolation Aura is active. Kind of neat. Right now, Immolation Aura has like 100% uptime. In fact, it has too much uptime, which will go away. But in general, it's only down for like a second or two. But what would be cool is to use it. Well, you're never not going to use it as a way to generate threat off the rip, probably. But it would be cool to see it used more defense, like more reactively, right? I wait for a cast that's about to go off. Like if you're talking about like the Brackish Bolt guys, right? They're gonna open with Brackish Bolt, and this isn't Gambit. They're gonna open with Brackish Bolt. I wait till the end of their cast, hit my Immolation Aura, and that covers 1 or 2 casts, right? And then they hit into their tidal wave. They do their tidal surge, whatever the fuck it's called, and then they go back to Brackish Bolt, and then I recast it. It would be really cool to use it like that, in my opinion. That would be pretty neat, pretty neato bandito. It also gives me fire
when they change it 4 more times.
No, I don't think currently the way it's not so much magic damage that's how you would use it now. It would be cool if they made it more like that. Right now, it kind of feels like, okay, you're going to use it exactly the same way, but you'll just get a little bit of reduced magic damage.
Exactly.
Feast of Souls. It's kind of weird. There's like, it almost feels like there's like the melee damage build, the Soul Furnace and the Feast of Souls, so you're soul cleaving the whole time. It's like more like build spend. And then there's like the ticking. Oh, there's spell not found. What does that mean?
It hasn't been implemented yet. There's still some that aren't
soul
implemented.
Barriers here or bulk extraction. Yo, those are both terrible. Choose one. Sheer Fury required. Sheer generates 5 additional Fury. Fracture. Okay. We're not getting are we getting Elysian's Decree back?
I have no clue. That would be a great question. I wonder. Let me pull up the tree.
I thought when I saw the Havoc tree, I thought I saw Elysian's Decree in the Havoc portion of the tree. So the hunt is over here on the Demon Hunter portion of the tree.
Yeah, which both specs get. I get that. So you're not getting... I don't see it. Oh, all the way down the bottom. It's a capstone, right side. It's a choice node. Father of the Flame versus Elysian Decree.
Oh, okay.
Second from the right. Oh yeah, you're gonna be a happy boy with the Spirit Bomb build. I heard someone
I don't
talking about it
see
earlier.
Spirit Bomb currently.
Left side, right above where it says 20
Got it.
required.
All right.
Basically, you're gonna go down the left side for the most part.
See, off the rip. My right side is my preference. Left side. If I can get back over to the left. Thanks.
Yeah, which is fine. I was just saying I can't see anything of what you're talking about.
So what I was originally talking about. So I'm not getting Roaring Fire's fucking useless. Who gives a fuck? But
okay.
My argument was like you can connect to Roaring Fire because you have this, but if I don't have Retaliation, I can't get to Roaring Fire. Even though, even if I put points into Agonizing Flame, I can only go down from here. I can't go back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Gotcha.
So if I got all the way, let's say I spent all my points down here, I can't get back up to go this way with it.
Which spells in particular would you want out of the middle?
Collective Anguish is the legendary I run.
The Lego you really like?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Really like
you
Fallout.
have to go down the middle for it. I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Dark Fire Boom kind of sucks. When Fell Devastation finishes fully channeling, it refreshes 10 to 20% of its cooldown and refunds 10 to 20 fury.
Which goes to 2040 at 2 points.
Huh. I don't ever find myself coming out of Fell Dev and being like, I really feel energy starved right now. Like, it's like, oh, I Fell Dev. I'm going to sit at whatever health I enter Fell Dev at is the health I stay at by the end of Fell Dev. And at high keys, it becomes like, okay, run away. Like, Fell Dev doesn't do enough. Run the fuck away now.
Yeah. Are you not taking Fracture on the left side?
I haven't. I'm not. I'm mostly reading right now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm probably a Fracture boy. I don't really like Soul Barrier. I don't like the way it plays or feels.
Like for specking tank, you get a 20% DR right off the rip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't have a choice really to get Collective Anguish. I have to get Roaring Fire.
Yeah, if you want that, you have to go down the middle.
But that's cool because Extended Spikes is pretty lit. But I also want this. I also want this. This seems pretty fucking cool. Painbringer here. Consuming a soul fragment reduces all damage you take by 2% for 4 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. So with my Spirit Bomb build, I'm going to straight up fucking drop a 20% DR every single time. And it's even better than Mastery because right now I get, after I consume 20 fragments, I get 20% Verse, which only works out to a 10% reduction in damage. Right? So I'm just straight up getting 10 for the same fucking build on less total fractures. I'm getting the same amount of DR, which is lit. That's pretty fucking cool.
I mean, the other funny thing is
goddamn sheer.
Frailty also on the left side Void Reaver just gives you a flat 4% DR every time something has Frailty.
Yeah. I need to... I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. Oh, Sigil of Chains is stuck all the way the fuck over here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Never getting fucking Sigil of Chains, boys! Affecting
Frailty
an enemy
also increases all your damage by 8%. Beefy.
Oh, we want Fallout too. And we want Cycle of Binding.
Alright, I'll be right back.
That's cool. Alright, let's read some more of these talents. So on the right hand side of the tree here, we had talked about this one. So they have the Soul Barrier and the Soul Extraction on the same talent here. Soul Barrier historically has caused fucking you to shield yourself using all the soul fragments within 25 yards. And then usually per fragment you get a shield, which caps out at 5, because even if you have like, let's say 10 or whatever out, usually the reality is the game just hasn't caught up and it's already sucking in 5. So at best you can only get a Soul Barrier that has 5, at least in my experience. I don't know. I've never specifically tested for this. I don't think that it's really that great of a talent, and at least historically it hasn't been. So I don't think that we'll see this coming into play with where it currently sits. I think that probably based off of the talents that you have available to you here, unless this spell ends up being something incredibly good, coming over into this section of the tree feels a little shitty right now. It does seem like that it's pretty cool that there's like a real defensive build option. When we start going down, we increase our fire damage, which sucks that we're not going to have that over here, but Spirit Bomb is shadow damage. Oh, no, it's fire damage. So we actually do want that increased fire damage from over here, if we can get it. But where to take a point out of? Actually, this doesn't feel that strong, so maybe we can get it here. Oh, no, we can't, because we need more points in here to get down into it. I definitely think, though, that with the feed the... Anyways, let's go back and let's talk about these here. So Burning Blood is great. However, to get it, I think you have to sacrifice too much. If you were running, which is my favorite build, the current build is Elysian's Decree, Soul Shatter, Spirit Bomb build. Love that build. Huge fan of it. I feel like it doesn't quite do enough DPS all the time. At least it hasn't scaled in comparison to, say, Blood DK or Guardian Druid when Season 4 came out. However, the thing that makes those classes so badass is their tier set bonus, which will be going away come first season of Dragonflight, which means with those two classes getting reduced, and also, of course, you have Protection Paladins. They're in a really good spot as well right now. However, I feel that they feel a lot more like Demon Hunter, where they're kind of blasting damage. It's not nearly as good as Blood DK or Guardian Druid. They're a little more defensive in terms of Guardian Druid. Obviously, it's Blood DK, top damage, top defensive, and then underneath that is probably Prot Paladin. They're a little more defensive. They do a little less damage, and then Guardian Druid's doing quite a bit of damage, but is really lacking in some of the defensive departments, especially outside of their Incarn window. And then you're looking at Vengeance Demon Hunter, which honestly is just really falling flat with damage. I think that Demon Hunters, in terms of defensives, are in a really great spot right now. If you put a lot of brain power into it, you can get nearly 100% uptime on a major defensive, meaning either your Elysian's Decree buff, Demon Spikes, Fell Devastation. Like, if you put the thought into it, you will almost always have something up as a Demon Hunter right now, which is fantastic. I do not feel squishy at all on my Demon Hunter, but in comparison to other classes that feel just as sturdy, like Blood DK, and I'm just not nearly doing as much damage, right? And I haven't even begun to master Blood DK, and I'm doing roughly the same amount or more damage on my Blood DK as I am on my Demon Hunter, playing a build that I'm very comfortable on. So what's interesting to see is that build is pretty much intact and has the fun added benefit of getting this cool Soul Carver ability, which says carve into your soul of your target, dealing a bunch of 150% of attack power plus 150% of attack power. I don't. Then they just put a 2 times multiplier there. Okay, whatever. Fire damage and an additional almost 100% of attack power of fire damage over 3 seconds. Immediately shatters 2 lesser soul fragments from the target and 1 additional soul fragment every 1 second. So a cool little ability that adds to your Spirit Bomb. Soul sending, like when you're just fucking blasting souls into your mobs. I have never phrased it that way, and that sounds so metal. Pretty lit. So then over here, the other cool, you're missing Revel in Pain, which I don't think is that big of a loss. Sigil of Change would have been cool to have in conjunction with my other abilities. I think Sigil of Chains definitely has a place, especially if you can increase its radius with Chains of Anger over here. But with the build that I'm trying to go for here, where I have maxed out points in Spirit Bomb and stuff like that, I think that you end up having to forego Sigil of Chains and Chains of Anger to get the stuff that you would like down here. You also, on this side of the talent tree, lose the Burning Alive talent, which I think is pretty cool. This is Fiery Brand spreading to one nearby enemy. This can really reduce the amount of damage you're taking, especially at the beginning of a pull. So Um, if you've never run the Burning Alive talent before, or the Burning Alive build, basically you run in, you get your first fiery brand up so that it starts spreading, and then you running some defensives through while you wait for it to stack up, and then you have like a solid 10 seconds worth of time where all of the mobs in a pull, and this is of course for Mythic Plus, it's a much shittier talent in raid encounters usually, specifically because there's only one boss. So Burning Alive has never really been that great in raid, but in Mythic Plus specifically, Burning Alive has had its place multiple times throughout the Shadowlands expansion. And I think a little bit in BFA, I was a Havoc main back then, so it's a little bit tougher to give you to discuss Burning Alive back then when I didn't really play it. But then there's also the Fiery Demise over here, where it increases your fire damage to the target by 25%, which has cool interactions with, especially right now with the increased damage from Immolation Aura. It takes up every second, right? So the last few seconds of Immolation Aura do the most amount of damage, and end up becoming a large portion of our damage done as a tank. And then Fiery Brand in this build was always, in my mind, had a cool interaction where if you're spreading Fiery Brand and it's increasing your fire damage done, those last ticks of Immolation Aura, if you time it right, can really do some serious damage in that section, because this is already one of your highest damaging abilities, and then you're just increasing it by 25%. But since I want to play Elysian's Decree Spirit Bomb, I think Elysian's Decree Spirit Bomb is the pinnacle of Vengeance Demon Hunter. I don't think you can really get over here into these trees. Especially, it's kind of cool that you have Fiery Brand has one additional charge. I think this talent is amazing for raid. This is almost a 33% uptime on 40% reduced damage. The Cycle of Binding talent is really cool, because what this does is it gets you to use some of your other sigils. So it now benefits me. It always benefited me to use my Sigil of Silence. I love that ability. I use it damn near on cooldown. But it really messed with the Res Leaks build that we were using, that some people still use, which is a fun build that gets your Elysian's Decree up much more often. But in Mythic Plus, I feel like I'm hugely responsible for the kicks and interrupts. I usually do 2 to 3 to 4 times the number of interrupts as the next person. And a lot of that is because of my usage of Sigil of Misery, and also Sigil of Silence and Sigil of Misery. I'm very good at eternalizing, certain abilities and when they're going to come out. So Sigil of Silence oftentimes not only erupts one ability, but whatever the following ability was going to be cast. And then a lot of times I can time Sigil of Misery to also interrupt some casts and things like that, on top of my kick, on top of my Imprison, that I also regularly use for interrupts. So the Cycle of Binding, what that does is that gives me some really cool interactions where I can get my Elysian's Decree up more often, especially because we're going to be looking at a baseline of 60 seconds, I assume. Yeah, we're looking at with the Mechanicos talent tree, the Soulbind tree, it's usually brought down in Mythic Plus to 25 seconds, at least with also the talent. What's the talent here? The quicken sigils talent. So what that does is that brings it down by 20%. So it brings 60 seconds down to 48, and then you can reduce it again by another 25 seconds. So potentially a 23-second cooldown if you're attacking 5 or more mobs. So those interactions together are really cool. Well, we are going to lose that with this build. So having this as like a backup where I use my Sigil of Silence. So it says afflicting an enemy with a sigil reduces the cooldown of your sigils by 2 seconds. So presumably if I silence a group of 5 mobs or 10 mobs, I can reduce my Elysian's Decree by 20 seconds. I have to assume that's what that means. We'll definitely get in and test it in a second here, so that we have a better understanding of what this is actually going to do. So from here, we wanted these two. We definitely wanted ourselves an Elysian's Decree. We definitely want a Spirit Bomb. And then this gives us a cool choice over here. So we have to take Ruinous Bulwark so we can actually access this portion of the tree to get Last Resort. The only way to get to Last Resort is down the middle of this tree. You can definitely get rid of I feel like Feed the Demon is way too good. But if you wanted to get out of Ruinous Bulwark and Feed the Demon, I think maybe we can get into some of these abilities over here. But in a situation where you need to have Last Resort available to you for high level key pushing, or honestly, for me, what it boils down to is I need Last Resort sometimes because I'm reading chat. It just definitely bakes in a chance for me to like be an idiot and just be like, cool. Like when I jump into a new pull with 0 cooldowns because I'm reading chat and I'm joking around and having a good time. And instead of saying like, hey, we really got to wait 20 seconds, I'm just like, nope, send it. And then, proc the cheat death. Fuck it. Happens. But it also gives us the option to use the Soul Carve ability, which seems like it might be cool. We're going to get in and check out the damage of this ability, see how it feels, see how it plays. But in Raid, I'm definitely feeling this side of the tree. I definitely think there's some interesting choices here that can be cool. And even then, if we wanted to stay out of Carve and maybe use this Burning Blood to increase the rest of our damage by 8%, that might be a choice. What else are we kind of missing that I'd like to see? Oh, yeah, the Soulmonger ability here is pretty neat, where we get... Oh, actually, I don't know if I want... Probably not get Soul Cleave. I'd instead get Soulmonger, and that still frees up this talent. The Soul Cleave ability, it just increases the 50% damage to your primary target. Maybe in single target we would see this ability getting some use. Like on a raid boss, I don't know. Doesn't feel that great. I would really like Chains of Anger here. There's no way for me to access with the build that I like playing, Sigil of Chains, so will probably not be there. If I'm going to take another talent at this point, I'm probably going to take Burning Blood, Fell Flame Fortification, or Immolation Aura. We're going to get in and check out and see how these feel. Because this actually increases the duration of Agonizing Flames. I don't see anything that's increasing our damage per tick of Immolation Aura. So it seems like that, I think that Soulbind that we were using to count heavily, the Soulbind we were using to rely heavily on for some of our damage, seems like that's out the window and gone. So we'll definitely have to take a look, because that damage is actually a huge component. It's roughly 14 to 15% of our damage done. And it's scaled, so we're probably looking to see it scale back about 10%. So it'll now be 5% of our damage done without that conduit. Let's take a look over here. I think there's some really cool things happening. We're forced into Sigil of Flame because we are Demon Hunters. And that's all right, because we're definitely going to take Shadow Restoration with our thing, because also this now interacts really well with not the weak-willed Soulmonger. Because we're gonna be generating so much extra healing that this shield is actually going to be fucking nuts. I'm actually really excited to see what we can pump this shield up to. Because Soulmonger is, when consuming a soul fragment that would heal you above full health, it shields you instead up to a maximum of 1/10 your total health. 1/10 your total health. Which is a 14,000 shield. A 14,000 shield we will be breaking regularly and getting back. So this is actually nuts. I think this is actually going to do a lot for our survivability in this build. I would not be surprised to see that this is a huge portion of our total healing outside of just regular Spirit Bomb. Love me some Consume Magic. We're definitely going to keep that. With this, we might take Flames of Fury because we're using Cycle of Binding, but we'll see. Because we're going to be regularly using our Flames of Fury now. We do want Fell Rush and Imprison. These are basically mandatory. I actually think I'm never going to take Bouncing Glaives. I'm actually super glad this is a fucking talent now, because I never want a Bouncing Glaive. Almost ever. Under almost no circumstances do I want a Bouncing Glaive. There's like once every day, I get a situation where somebody pulls aggro on 2 mobs, and because I can throw a glaive based off of where the trajectory of those 2 mobs that have been pulled, I can get them both. But I usually have to throw a glaive at the second one anyways, because it depends on how much aggro has been generated, things like that. Kind of not great. So this does more damage more often than it does good. So I'm really hoping to get a Vengeful Retreat in here. We'll see if we can keep this. Vengeance increases the critical strike chance of Immolation Aura by 6. Okay, cool. Charge to your target, or we can get Fellblade, We'll hold off on this for now. Consume magic generates 20 fury when a battle. Probably don't care about that too much, but let's see what's down here. Infernal armor. Immolation or increases your armor by 10%. Don't really care about that. Rush of Chaos. Though, how do we... There's nothing connecting to this ability. How do we get this ability? Is the only way to get this ability to fill this out? Kick being on this is so stupid. Okay, so on this side of the tree, we can't backtrack to get to something. But on this side of the tree, we can backtrack to get to something. Fucking cool, Blizz. I love the consistency there. Fucking stellar. Always want soul rending. Always want soul rending. Master increases our movement speed. I think we are already too speedy quick as a class. I don't know that there's a lot of value in that. Unrestrained Fury is cool. That's a cool talent. Vengeful Retreat reduce. Oh, this is the slow portion of Vengeful Retreat, which is neat. I'm actually curious using Vengeful Retreat as a tank. What the interaction of that is. As a DPS, if you have aggro and you use Vengeful Retreat, it's fucking great. Because A, it puts you into range, which eventually puts you into range. But honestly, you're getting shit on anyway, so whether or not you could have dodged something or taken reduced damage kind of feels moot. But the second you're a tank and you're looking at the chances that the game considers you, like, you know, anything other than standing there in giving you your full dodge percent and your full damage reduction percent, if this is one of those abilities where you're going to end up getting clapped while you're vengeful retreating, because oftentimes you're getting meleeed as the animation's coming up into the air, then it's not going to really be that useful. Also, I'm not sure, based off of what I'm reading and feeling, I'm not sure that we're going to need this really to kite. So maybe Vengeful Retreat won't actually have a place in this build, but we're going to take a look in game and see kind of how it feels. Oh, this is cool. 5% of the damage we deal, fire damage we deal, will come to us as healing. So this is just going to prop up our healing even more. Fellfire Haste, cool ability. Probably not going to see it here. Master of the Glaive gives you 2 charges of Thorough Glaive. See, this is the one. This is an ability we might want to have. This is a 4% damage reduction. Just the 2 points we can put in. I love Chaos Nova. Chaos Nova is one of my favorite fucking... I like having an AoE stun. I hate that it costs so much fury. So oftentimes I'm actually using the Overwhelmed talent, even though I'm a big proponent of having the single target stun. I think you're an idiot if you don't take the single target stun. Oh no, they're making you choose between Chaos Fragments and the Fury cost of Unleashed Power. Oh, that's terrible. Why, Blizz? Why, Blizz? That's so fucking mean, man. And it's in the same row as Blur here. That's so mean. Obviously, we need Metamorphosis. I don't think this is a very good talent. Maximum health is over here. That's cool. Spectral Sight increased. If disrupted by attacking, lasts an additional 6 seconds. If disrupted by attacking or taking damage. Oh, this is cool, kind of. If you've ever been in a situation where you lose Spectral Sight because you have like a melee attack or Immolation Spore is still on, or somebody attacks you like in Lords of Dread on Sepulchre of the First Ones, you'll know that the Spectral Sight kind of sucks sometimes, and this kind of feels like it solves that problem. But the reality is the applications of this is pretty niche, and I don't see myself getting over here to this portion of the tree too often. And I hate concentrated. Wait, all signals are plus at your location. The duration of their effects is increased. I hate concentrated signals. I hate precise sigils. I don't get it. These are the same thing. At your target's location. Oh. Interesting. That sucks. Never using that. Ooh, cool. We can have demonic. Oh. No, this is normal. The way Fell Devastation normally behaves. Okay, so this is like a mandatory talent. It's kind of stupid that it's paired with Demonic Origins. I mean, I don't know. I guess like, yeah. I don't actually know why Demonic Origins is still in this game. I don't think anybody wants that. If this was just a straight Metamorphosis cooldown reduction, it would be a lot more interesting. But as is, and the fact that it's paired with demonic, this is a never talent choice. So I'm not sure if you're looking at the vengeance tree specifically. This side of the tree, your demon hunter tree, feels very, very locked in. At least so far. I haven't gone through all of it, but like, I'm never using this stuff. I get Sigil of Silence, cool. Sigil of Misery, done. I guess I have to pick more talents here. Fine, perfect. I can go Master the Glaive, and then maybe I'll get Illidari Knowledge if I need to. It sucks that these two are together. Really fucking sucks that these two are together. Infernal Strike, this is the first talent choice in the row. You get Blur. I don't know that this matters. Nobody takes this because it doesn't even come with a Sigil of Flame now. If this still had the Sigil of Flame attached to it, we might see this used, but because it's the Demon Hunter portion of the tree, they're keeping it this because obviously you can't have a fucking Havoc Demon Hunter casting Sigil of Flame, though why, I don't know. I think that'd be fine. All right, we get Long Night or Pitch Black. Reduces the cooldown of darkness by... Cool. Not bad. I'll take that. Then we get the Hunt. Add with Elysian's Decree. Lit. How many points do I have? I have 1,000,000 points still. Okay. I'm definitely taking one of these. Probably Pitch Black. I guess this will be preference or rating counter specific. Sigil of Misery. We want that. Improved Sigil of Misery. Reduces the cooldown by 30 seconds. Cool. Especially because this will work in conjunction with our Cycle of Binding. Enemies take 10% increased damage from all sources for 5 seconds. Ooh. Fun. Fun. Okay. I think for the sake of our first test, we're going to go with damage. What we're going to do is try to max the fuck out of damage. We still have more. We still have... 10? Excuse me, sir. And the whole talent tree is gone. Oh, no. It's not. All right, cool. Enemies deal 8% reduced magic to you for 8 seconds after being afflicted by one of your sigils. Lit. Increases the duration of sigil effects by 1 second. Also lit. Desperate Instincts. We don't want Desperate Instincts. Well, we might want Desperate Instincts. But then we have to take one of these dog shit fucking talents. But we really want Quicken Sigils. There's nothing we want more in this world than Quicken Sigils and to have Unnatural Malice, probably. If I was going to make a damage build, this is the fucking damage build. And the idea here is Elysian's Decree like a motherfucker. The question is after Elysian's Decree, do we need this carve ability is going to do more damage, or is it going to do more damage if we use Burning Blood? That's the real question. So this is the first thing we'll test. We're going to test out carve and look at the damage here, and then we'll switch that out for Burning Blood, and then more so if we need to, we'll check out, there's a room for some play here with one of these talents, and we'll see what we can do. All right, fam, this is basically part 1 of this video. On screen real quick, I'm going to put the talents that I messed up. They were covered by my camera originally. And then part 2 of this video, my first impression video, will be us actually trying out this build that I've set up. I'll leave a link to the talent tree down in the description. And then there's a little bit of bloopers right after this. But I'll see you on the next one probably tomorrow or the next day once I have leveled a tune on beta. We'll see you on the streets. Peace. You want to do it with me? You want to be my guy? Fuck you. Even. Yes, you do.
You're a fucking idiot.
Fuck, you're the fucking idiot.
Imagine being 4.5 hours late to the party after you're crying about.
You could have come into Discord and immediately fucking told me, "Hey, did you see the vengeance trees?" You could have done that. You know what you did instead? You 413. You pathetic piece of shit.
Fucking 413 at Dre's at 60. Here you go. Go cream yourself.
Here's don't read
Dragonflight talent calculator.
You will get my attention when I unzip my pants. Okay, not before, and then not after.